Welcome, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of the 49ers Podcast Network. Second Thursday that we're coming live with all the Niner faithful. Before we begin, before I introduce the panel, if you want to follow each and every one of us, or if you have a special content creator you like, all their links are in the description below. Just all you got to do is click on it, and it'll take you directly to their channel and subscribe and hit that like button and that notification bell so that you will be notified each and every time they go on. With that said, let's welcome my co-host, Mr. Brandon. What's up, brother?
What's going on, Beto? What's going on, guys?
And we got Mariah, the one and only,
What's up,
here
fam?
tonight. How you doing, Mariah?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. And we got my boy Dion in the house. What's up, Dion?
Oh, y'all already know what it is, man. UCLA forever.
I love it. And we got, last but not least, we got our boy Rod in the house. What's up, brother?
Hey, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. You know, we always got to take out a couple little bears around here, kick them out, the little deer and stuff. But it's all good, Fight on, baby. Let's get it.
I mean, you know how it is. USC runs football. We run basketball. It is what it is.
We beat y'all this year.
That doesn't mean you go to the tournament.
Just saying, we beat
you. Ain't going to the tournament.
Let's just get to the show.
Damn. Yeah, let's get to the show because you ain't going nowhere near the NCAA tournament. We ranked. You're not. Just letting you know that.
We still beat y'all.
Yeah, that's cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Jaime Jaquez being that ass. What? Oh, you had that one little victory. Oh, congratulations.
On that quick note, we got a guest tonight, and Melissa with us, and she's celebrating her birthday this weekend. So everybody,
what up, Melissa?
Chat, please let her know. Let her know happy birthday, and the guys on the panel, let's wish her happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Rod. You know we can't do it like that. We gotta hit her with the Stevie. Come on,
go for
it. Oh no! Yeah, no, I'm gonna let Beto.
Yeah, that's it. There they go. They can have that one now.
I'm gonna let it ride with that one, bro.
Y'all got it. Happy birthday,
man. Look. If you ain't, it's just happy birthday with a little rhythm to it. That's all Stevie did. Instead of the basic, Stevie put a little funk on it, but happy birthday, happy early birthday to you, Melissa. Hope it's a fantastic one. I hope you get a lot of Niner gear, and I hope that your brother that's a Packers fan is horridly crying right now because, Aaron Rodgers finally came out of the darkness. I came out of my dark spot, and, I like everything. But if it's not for me, I'm not going to like it. Bro, how many drugs did you do?
Come on now.
Aaron Rodgers went in there, took an LSD tab. He popped the ecstasy pill. He probably did a little peyote. He might even sniff a little coke / heroin just to figure out if all of these drugs create the psychedelic formula that makes him think the way he does. I'm just, good Lord. That's a train wreck of a human being. He just out here just fucking off that money, boy. What you doing? Well, I took $2 million, and I'm not really sure what I did with it. But the universe spoke to me, and they told me, spend this $2 million. So I just did it. And they're like, Aaron, you messed off $2 million. It's all right. The Packers are going to give it to me anyway. They'll give me another 40 because they're dumb. Sad story.
All right, so before we actually get into it, just for everybody that's watching us right now, if you guys are watching on Twitter, we cannot see your comments in the chat. So go over to any of our YouTube pages, and we'll be able to see your chat there and comment and everything.
Oh, it's not showing it?
It doesn't show on Twitter. It never does.
No, Twitter, it hasn't been showing like that forever. Hey, nice impression of Zach, by the way. I got to let him know.
Fucking Dion. I can't. All right,
So I'm gonna kick this off.
let's get into it. Go ahead.
Hey,
D.
how do we all feel that Juwan motherfucking Jennings is back home? 'Cause I'm happy. I'm glad Juwan is back. I wanted third and Juwan here. I like Juwan Jennings. I like what he does on the field. I'd like him to be more consistent with his catching. But hey, if you get a first down, possibly even a TD, I'm okay with that only being the catches that you make. The only issue is I would like to see you on the field more often, and his size dictates that he should really be a red zone threat, and we should be using him in that way. So we have to be able to try to get packages in here for him. But I am happy that Juwan is here. I figure we're going to go in the other direction. We're going to kick over to Rod, and then we'll slide up that way, and then we're going to have everybody speak their piece. But for me, I'm happy Mr. Jennings is back home. I knew he was going to be here because he was exclusive rights free agent. But I agree with you, Dre. But what you think, Rod?
Love it. I'm glad this back. I'm definitely happy because he secures another running back or another running blocker. You know what I'm saying? Or even in the pass blocking game down the field. So I'm definitely happy that he's back. He can definitely make key catches. Obviously, third and Juwan, you know that's his name. So that does come in. That's definitely key right now, more than ever as well. So I'm good with that one.
Melissa, you there?
Yep.
How do
Can you
you
hear me?
feel? I know you feel good about Mr. Jennings being back, so talk to us.
I can be more over the moon. I think Juwan.
What happened?
What's connected?
Oh, yeah.
Too much over the moon.
All right. Well, once she comes back, we'll do that. But Mariah, how do you feel? We know she's over the moon. We know she's over the moon.
Yeah, I'm happy. I mean, I talked about this earlier. I wish that we would maybe offer him a couple-year deal instead of just this tender, you know, like give the guy a little bit of security, a little bit of guaranteed money, because the money he's really getting on these tender deals isn't much, considering, you know.
Especially
yeah,
living in California, of all places.
Yeah. Other than that, I'm happy. I'm glad he's back. And yeah, I hope to see him used more too.
All right, Brandon, talk to us.
I'm excited for this. I'm glad that he's back for this coming up season. We definitely need him, especially on those third downs. So I'm excited to see him go off again this season. So yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited as well. I love his attitude. I love the presence that he brings to the field. Players, he just brings a certain attitude to that offense where everybody just wants to just continue to bust heads. Him and Kittle both bring that type of atmosphere that we're not going down. You're going to try to take us down. Try very hard, but you're not going to be successful. I love that they brought him back. You know, he's not a fast receiver, but you don't need him to be. You just need him to be that third down, tough catch receiver that moves the chains, and that's what he does very well. And his catching ability has gotten better, at least in my opinion. And I like Juwan Jennings. I think I love his personality and his character, man. And personally, myself, we need more of Juwan Jennings in this offense, man. I hate being a finesse offense. I want to be a nasty offense with an attitude.
I agree with that, man. I agree with that wholeheartedly, because when you have players like him, he pisses people off to get stupid penalties.
Yes.
He's fantastic in the blocking, you know what I'm saying? And the dude just goes out there and plays. He doesn't complain. You never hear him crying about not getting targets, none of that, man. And when he makes a great play, he's so humble about it. And you can appreciate that. You know what I mean? Everybody can appreciate that. What's up to everybody in the chat? We got Dre, we got Christy, Terradome in the building. Melissa's there.
What's up with it, everybody?
Yeah, we got everybody in the chat. Everybody in the chat, what's going on? So next thing, I'll bring up a list of QBs that are going to be available. But we need it. We need a person. We need somebody in the building because we don't have anybody. So I'm going to kick this to Mariah. Should we sign a veteran quarterback and draft one, or should we just look to get a veteran quarterback and lead the draft alone, or just draft one and lead a veteran quarterback alone? What do you think we should be doing right now?
In a perfect world, to me, we get a vet and we draft somebody in the later rounds, though. Like nothing crazy, but maybe 6th, 7th, even undrafted, just a young guy.
Okay. And I'm going to bring it over to Brandon. What do you think? What should we do for this quarterback situation? Because we currently are in a bit of a pickle here.
I think signing a veteran will be perfect for us. And also will help out Trey and Brock as well. Just, get better and teach them the techniques and everything like that. So I saw Marcus Mariota became a free agent. So, I mean, even with him being a QB3, I think would be okay. Or even if Matt Ryan gets released, I was looking at him too because he knows Kyle Shanahan's offense as well. So he could also help with Brock and Trey in that offense too. So,
Beto, what do you think about this?
Yeah, we definitely have to bring a veteran quarterback, but I need a veteran quarterback not only if he can teach Trey and Brock, but I need someone that, in case needed, to be able to come in and be successful on the field. I don't need a Matt Ryan where he's able to teach, but if you call upon his number, he's going to guarantee to turn the ball over. And sometimes he can teach the young quarterbacks the wrong things, whether it's a fault of his or not. It's just, I want a quarterback like Brissett or someone that can come in, they can be serviceable. But we definitely need to bring a vet, and we definitely need to draft a quarterback after going through the carousel of quarterbacks last year. A lot of people, whether they believe or don't believe that it's Kyle gets quarterback hurt, it doesn't matter. We went through almost 5 quarterbacks last season, and we can't go through that again. So, my opinion, definitely bring in a serviceable backup. They can play on the field and teach off the field, and draft a young rookie as well.
but I think real quick, I think any of these candidates that we just mentioned is 100% better than a freaking Josh Johnson. Let's just put that out
True.
there right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Josh
so.
Johnson's shadow is better than Josh Johnson.
What do you think, Rod?
Gardner.
I don't know. I feel like even if you do bring in a veteran, it's cool. It's fine. I think I'm more with the young type of talent going in and looking for somebody in the draft. You got to remember, we got Brian Greasy here for a reason. And I think we need to truly continue to utilize him for what he is, in the mindset, because he truly knows how Kyle, how his mindset is. So I think that continuing to have that ace in your in your pocket, which is having him there, I just feel like Greasy is pretty much the key. Because if you think about it, for us to go through 3 quarterbacks, technically 4, but 3 of them that truly played throughout this season, and to have the success that we did with them, we got to give a lot of, we got to compliment, and give some flowers to Brian Greasy on that situation. So I would look at a young quarterback and then go from there.
Okay, I like it. Me personally, I'm of the ilk. Get a vet, someone that's serviceable who can play if needed, and then you bring in, probably even a little rookie here and there. So if you look at it, I think Beto's trying to put this through. I can't see it on the actual team. There we go.
There we go.
Basically, you look at it, man, there's certain quarterbacks that we're not going to touch. We're not touching Derek Carr because he wants to get paid starter money. Carson, I want no parts of. He'd have been through what 3 teams already, and no one believes in him. So why should we? Tom is retired. He's just on the list because I guess he probably hasn't finalized all his paperwork with the NFLPA and the league and all that crap. I want no parts of Mariota for my liking for him. He's just a backup guy. But him being in our building doesn't really help us much. I don't care about Baker Mayfield. Plus, I think he's anyway. I don't want any parts of Sam Darnold. Honestly, me honestly taking a dig at SC just don't work out in the league. The last quarterback for SC that worked out was Carson Palmer, and that was a while back. And to be because I liked Mark Sanchez.
That's facts.
The Sanchez honestly just rolled the coattails of the Jets defense.
Totally agree with you.
They produce great offensive linemen, great defensive linemen, great defensive players all around.
Wide
you know
receivers.
what I'm saying? Great wide, just the quarterback. But for some reason, the quarterbacks just don't pan out. I don't know why. It's just like Ohio State. Ohio State will give you everything, but they will not give you it last. Because if somebody can lane, no. Don't bring Brady nowhere near the Bay. Brady retired his ass, go home and relax. He got enough shit going on in his personal life. It is what it is. But when I look at this, I know a lot of people don't like Teddy Bridgewater. I like Teddy. I figure he'll be all right as a little backup on a cheap deal, something small. Daniel Jones is out there, but I think the Giants bring him back on a deal that's suitable for them because they don't have any other oddball teams that figured out what to do with them. Another guy on this list, and I want an opinion from the panel because the next guy on this list I think is all right type of dude, Case Keenum. He can be okay. I think he's serviceable, and I think he should be all right as far as money goes. We still have a lot to do. I'll get into the money thing a little bit later because I do want everybody's opinion on that. But what do y'all think of Case Keenum? Mariah, what do you think of Case? Because he's all right. You know, he ain't great, but he can win you a game with me.
Yeah, he's good enough. I don't have too many thoughts on him, but yeah, I wouldn't be mad at it.
Okay. What do you think, B-Dubs?
I mean, I wouldn't mind him to be honest. At the end of the day, he's gonna be a backup quarterback, a veteran, and I think he'll fit in.
Okay. What do you think, Rod?
Cool. You know, I think what was it? He got saved when he was with Minnesota that 1 year. So by Diggs, you know, in the catch with the Saints. So I mean, he's cool. I would look at Marcus Mariota. You know, bring a little different dynamic to the situation, a little size. You know, something like that. A little dink and dunk, that'll work.
Mm-hmm.
You're on mute, dude.
Sorry. I'm trying to keep my birds quiet, but the quarterback that you mentioned, the one you like, Dion, is that what you're referring to?
Yeah. I was wondering if you
Right,
like Case Keenum or perhaps.
Oh, Case Keenum. Oh, man. I mean, if you're bringing someone in, like I said, to nearly be the third string quarterback, possibly the second, depending on what direction we go with Brock Purdy, because it's really unknown at this point. Oh, man. I can see Martin. I don't know, man. Really? I was even thinking of what's his name. I know a lot of people don't like him, but I know Christian loves him. The guy from the Rams.
Baker Mayfield. Yeah, Christian thinks he's going to be some random favorite, but I don't think Baker Mayfield is that dude.
Yeah.
And look, real quick, I will keep taking the Omari Hardwick compliments, bro. I'm all right with that. 100%
There you
facts.
go.
I'm okay with that.
There you go. I just hope, honestly, I know we're going to bring in a vet. I just hope that Trey Lance can stay healthy. And at the end of the day, man, he'll be the guy that will be running this ship the way it's supposed to, the way it was intended. I understand we have to bring a vet and we have to bring a serviceable one, but I'm really rooting for either Brock or Trey, because there's a certain amount of money that we're going to pay for a third string quarterback, and the saying goes, you get what you pay for. If you're going to if you're going to pay a certain bracket, you're going to get that type of quarterback, and you can't complain. But and I'm looking at anywhere within the 5 to 6 million, probably, if not lower. So we'll see who they bring in. I know, like I said earlier, Brissett, but I think he's going to demand about 10 to 12 a year. That's probably out of our range. So
You really
the
think
Matt
Brissett's
Ryan's
worth 10 to
is
12? You really think somebody gonna pay that man 10 to 12 million dollars?
people are these NFLs are so hungry for a starting quarterback, bro. I'm not saying he's worth it personally, but I wouldn't be surprised. Somebody's going to pay much more for Jimmy
Mm-hmm.
out there, and
Yeah,
when I say much more, I'm talking about 30 million a year.
I keep telling people he gonna get 25 to 30 million, and people keep looking at me like I'm crazy. And
No,
my
you're
mom
not
said,
crazy,
"Hey,
bro.
mom,"
It
but
doesn't mean
I'm
he deserves it or he'll play up to it, but that's what he'll
he's
get.
going to get that money. Like somebody's gonna pay him. I'm telling you
Absolutely.
right now, like y'all need, like people need to stop acting like that man ain't finna fetch a bit, a nice little bit of change on the market. I don't like him, but if there's one thing about me, even if I don't like you, I'm still realistic. I never cared for Kobe. I did not, but I know he's a great fucking basketball player. I know he was the closest thing that I've ever seen to Michael Jordan. So while I may not have cared for him, I'm not going to disrespect his greatness. You serious? Come on, people. Like, we just got to be realistic. It is what it is. Throwback hitter with the BS. Cast is a Jimmy sexual to the max, bro. He holds his ball sack for him and everything.
Damn.
He do, bro. If you ain't seen it,
What's up, Tanya?
I literally
What's up,
have
Tanya?
muted
Hey,
dude
sis.
on Twitter just because I can't keep dealing with that one, bro. It's every fucking post is love for Jimmy Garoppolo, and I'm like,
I've been muted him. But my thing is,
Yeah,
why do
and I
people
don't
give him
know.
attention? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like he throws things out there and people just bite to it. And it's like, why would y'all give this dude attention? That's the thing that gets me. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
if you know it's outlandish, it's like, why are y'all giving that any type of energy? But who am I to stop somebody else in what they do?
Oh no, yeah, I agree with you, Rod. We the same on that because I literally will stop. Like that's why I mute him. Like I ain't finna pay no attention to cats, bro. If you love it, you love it. That's on you. You live your life the way you want to live it. I'm gonna be realistic. I know the man's gonna fetch a nice bit of money on the market.
Right.
I know that for a fact because teams need a quarterback and they will pay.
Yeah.
And they're gonna look and they're gonna say, well, hey, he won, and that's all they're gonna look at. And anybody with a brain in their head can look beyond that, look at the playoffs, look at everything as a whole, and understand that there are things that should not be put in there. But hey, man, it's it is what it is. I ain't finna be mad about it. Everybody can do what they want to do, man.
Right.
Me personally, I just know this. I'm good. Kyle's good. John is good. So no matter how much you try to manifest that, the people in charge have told you they're done. So there's nothing else to do.
Ms.
So
Debbie, what's going on?
Hey, Miss Dem.
oh look, wait. Okay, now you
Miss Deb.
What's up, Miss
when
Deb?
Miss Debbie done muted you, you got issues. Miss Debbie is one of the sweetest people on the planet. I had the pleasure of meeting her a couple years ago at a preseason game when we played the Kansas City Chiefs. Very, very sweet woman. When she mutes you, oh yeah, bro, you didn't went way over the top.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You didn't went over the top.
Yep.
Because Miss Debbie, Miss Debbie is like the mom. You know what I'm saying? Like that extended parent. And you know, it's like when she tell you you done messed up, you know you done messed up. You know, so it's definitely how it is. But
you know, in our community, she would be looked out as, you know, the big mama.
Yep. And you better be careful when you go in, because you gotta be smart about it. Make the right decisions. Don't be dumb.
There you go.
But I got a good question for everybody, because this is going to happen. We gonna mess around with some people's money, because we ain't got no money. We literally have what, about $2.5 million roughly in cap space, which ain't gonna cut it for free agency. We don't dip our toe in that pond very often, and if that. But we are gonna need to bring in a few more people. We are losing people. I believe we got roughly somewhere between 20 to 28 free agents, something like that. But to create cap space, we're going to need to move around some money. I'll give it to you first, Beto. Who do you think is up for restructure?
I would hope that they go in Fred Warner's direction. This will be his first restructure since getting his contract with the San Francisco 49ers. So I believe he will be a great candidate. And he's a great middle linebacker. I don't see us moving from him anytime soon. I know a lot of people are kind of heading in the direction of Eric Armstead. As much as I like him, and I think he's very serviceable at the position that he's at, I don't know if I want to move his can down the road. I would love to do that with Fred Warner. And I think that once Bosa deal gets done, that's going to free up some space because it's going to be determined on the signing bonus on that he gets. Hopefully it'll be under 40. Fingers crossed. But based on that, his contract being done, and Fred Warner's, and then McCaffrey. McCaffrey definitely needs to get his contract done. So just those three pieces should free up, somewhere around 15 million. 15 to 20 to help out if there's someone they want to go and get out there in free agent. And it's, I just heard that they put not that we probably would have got him, but they put the franchise tag on Daron Payne. That sucks, but it is what it is. It was a pipe dream anyway.
Yeah, it definitely was a pipe dream, because he was going to command way too much damn money that we definitely didn't have. So Bashar decided to, quote Timberland, that joint he had with Kerry Hilson. He said, "I ain't got no money. I ain't got no car to take you on a date." Yeah, see, this is basically what we say in the free agents. I ain't even got no flowers. We trying to tell him we're gonna
make you soulmate. Yep.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, you know what happens? That's when John Lynch comes in. He's like, "Let me talk to you guys." Oh man, we got one of the females for the York family going, "Oh baby, it's okay." Right, yeah, that joint, man. I mean that was a good one, and I mean, Kerry Hilson. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Brandon, what do you think, man? Who do you agree with Beto on those few people that he named, or is there someone else that you have in mind as far as basically kicking the can down the road, because that's all we're doing with restructures?
I agree with Beto. I think
you better.
I think George, this freaking guy. I think George. He's in the dog pound.
Look, he said, "Hey, remember, I'm
They get back is something else, ain't it?
It's nasty.
But yeah, I think George Kittle is going to get hit. I think they might restructure his contract. Debo's not getting touched. A lot of people were talking about Debo. He's not getting touched. But another thing you gotta think about too is, we definitely have to pay Nick Bosa. So he's gonna be getting some big money. So we have to watch out for that as well. So I feel like also is we're probably not gonna do like anything crazy in free agency. We might maybe sign a couple, but don't expect these big names to be coming to the team. With the money that we have.
I agree with that 100%, man. Because I think a lot of people get wishful, and they're like, "Oh, we should just sign everybody." It's like, yo, there's a cap. We can't sign everybody.
We're not the Rams.
We literally are a team that is the reason for the damn salary cap. Literally. Yeah. Owners were pissed off at Eddie D because he kept spending money like water because he wanted to win. And they were like, nah, we got to figure this out. This bullshit because he keep getting all the premier players. Like, how you think about it in the 90s? What did we like? I think every year we signed like somebody that was like fucking all first team, all pro. Like
between Eddie and Carmen policy.
Between Eddie and Carmen, yeah, the money was just it was flowing effortlessly. And the number one thing that Eddie would say is, hey, it don't matter what we need to do. Go get the guys to put this shit together and get us this fucking ring. That's what we need.
They're already millionaires. You know what I'm saying? So especially back then with cap. Yeah.
That's the key right there, no cap.
Yeah, it's no cap. So whoever I want, I just pay for it. It's like baseball. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Yep. The Yankees did it for years. So
yes, they did.
It is what
They're still doing it if you really ask me.
Absolutely.
Ooh, now there is a different name. Miss Debbie brought up Juice.
I thought about
Juice. I mean, he ain't getting paid a lot.
Oh, that's interesting.
He ain't getting paid a lot, but that's a name no one has mentioned.
But he is the highest paid fullback though.
Yeah, I was gonna say for a fullback, he getting bread. Mm-hmm. So you could all right. See, that's why you got to have people like that in the chat.
Yes,
see,
right.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
I never thought about it.
Mooney Ward.
Nah, I don't think they're gonna touch Mooney's money.
No, it'll be the second year on his contract.
I think Debo and probably Mooney are the two guys that are off limits to touch because you just gave them this money. Yep. And it's and then Mooney's only on a 3-year deal. So this technically is his second year coming into it. So there's not really much to kick down the road. So could you? Probably, but it's like, do you want another D4 situation where the guy possibly leaves and we still have to break him off because we kicked the can down the road?
Yeah, we have that dead money.
But Mariah, what do you think? Do you agree with Beto and Brandon? My bad.
Brian, really?
Yeah, I mean you got on glasses, bro. You look all
whatever your name is.
Yeah, your name starts with a B. We're just gonna call you Brian for the rest of the show.
You know how much I hate that name?
Bro,
he could have called your name starts with a P.
Hold on, everybody. Did Brian hurt you? Do we need to have an intervention? Everybody wrap your arms out. Give him a hug.
Everybody give him a hug. Oh, mi pendejito.
All right, Mariah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Mariah.
I'll start with that. I also hate the name Brian. That's my dad's name, and I don't like him, so I don't like that name.
There you go.
So we'll just go with Beto and Blake. I agree with them.
Blake? What? You want to go to war? Because we could go to war. I'm for real.
She just called me Blake.
If I'm picking somebody different, though, I would go with CMC as my person that's different. Yeah. I think we can lower that down and his yearly and spread that shit out some because he's making quite a penny.
Yes.
And then I agree with Fred. And I also agree. I wouldn't do Armstead. I keep seeing that brought up. Like that's one of the last people I would do.
Yep.
Honestly, the reason for me, just really quick, is because he already gave us a team-friendly deal. Like, the reason we kept Eric versus Defoe was like, give me my money. Eric was like, I'll work with you. So they were like, oh, you going to work with us? All right, man, cool. You know, Armstead, hey, you can stay. Defoe, go get your money
Thank
back.
you, Miss Debbie.
Oh, yeah, look, see, we got called somebody else. Van the Man called you Bryson.
Dang.
It would call you Bryson Tiller. You got a trap soul over there, man. What's going on?
Oh yeah.
Well, who trade? I don't know who would trade for that number 1 pick, but if they do, I mean, to be honest with you, if I'm the Bears, I trade out. Really quick on a side note. Mariah, I'm sorry, Mariah. Did you have more?
Yeah,
I need as many picks.
Okay, but I would trade out.
I
You know
agree.
why?
I agree.
I would. You know what I would do? I would get as many picks as I could and shore that damn O line up, so Justin Fields has no reason to be running for his damn life. You need to, like, the hard part about moving on from one player or person to the next, or should I say coach, when you go to a new team, is if that quarterback isn't your guy, then you usually don't stick with them. You move off of them. You trade them, you cut them, you do whatever. But look at the Cardinals situation. You can't go nowhere with Kyler. You already paid his ass, so you're stuck. You got to deal with that little dude on a consistent basis.
What's up,
Roger is in the building.
John V, what up, homie?
John V.
Oh my God! Is that Amari Hardwick?
Look, man. I
Oh
told
my
you,
God!
I'm gonna take these compliments and run. I could care less. I will gladly take Omari Hardwick. Okay, that's a handsome brother. I ain't mad at it. You know.
Hey, real quick, guys. Real quick.
As long as you don't call me Lil Wayne or nothing, because that's an ugly dude. You know.
Hey, real quick, I want to share this real quick about what Nick Bosa said on Richard Sherman's podcast.
Yeah, go ahead.
Emmanuel Mosley.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
And then we got Charvarius back there. E-Man will be back, so it's only up from here. But no, we're gonna be attacking on D. We got dogs at every level, especially this year. I think Fred and Dre have taken another step, which is kind of scary. And then we got Charvarius back there. E-Man will be back, so it's only up from here.
Okay. You know, the nice thing I liked about that was the fact that Nick Bosa was actually speaking consistently.
Yeah.
And he didn't have that pause moment where he does this.
He truly felt comfortable. He felt comfortable because it was another teammate. It was just one of his boys. So it was dope. For that to be his first one, you know, that was real dope.
Yeah, I like.
Did you guys watch that whole podcast or no?
Yeah.
I did.
I did not get a chance to, but I will.
No, even though he said E-Man will be back, I don't know if he really knows something behind the scenes or he just got into the conversation.
I totally
and
agree.
and forgot that he's a free agent and possibly
totally
just hyping the defense up type of thing.
Yep.
I think the Niners are going to want him back.
No, wanting him back is definitely. I think they want him, but will he come back? It depends.
I think
the Texans want him. Other
The
places
Texans
are going to
has
want
money
him too.
to throw at him too.
How much money? What are you willing to
That's
throw
what I
at?
was heard.
Yeah,
because they were talking about he's
Because you got
out
okay,
of our
so
price
I'll
range
look it
now.
up right now. I got Spot Rack up right now, so I'll pull him up and I'll tell you what his market value is.
What is it?
Because
15.
He's
like 15.
Yep.
Yeah, he's out. He's fetching a good amount of money on the market, man.
He's looking like a 4-year contract, right? 4 years.
Yeah, roughly about a 3 to 4 year deal. It's always going to work that way. Give me a sec, y'all. I'm trying to get this shit up.
Yeah, he might love the Niners, but if that money,
and also don't forget Gibson too.
Yep.
I think Gibson will be back. I think he wants to play one more year, and if he plays that 1 year, he's definitely going to do it with the Niners, with his friend and his boy Hufanga. I don't think he'll go anywhere else.
Yeah.
And I think the Niners.
Oh
will
yeah,
draft his
if he
replacement in
comes
this draft.
back.
And then I think they'll take care of him. You know, something that he'll be comfortable with.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're saying he's fetching around roughly around that 15 mil spot. But the thing is, he came off an injury, and plus the situation here is the only reason he would go to the Texans is if he winds up in a situation where, where they were talking about throwing that money at him, man. That's the hard part. But John, since you came in a little bit late, I did want to ask you, as far as kind of restructures, who do you think they get restructured to create more cap space? Obviously,
I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that because now you're pushing these cats into their 30s, right? At this point, definitely not Trent. Maybe Warner, maybe Fred. Fred be the only one, I think, because George will be what, like 31, right?
Yeah.
So I'd say Fred. At this point.
Fred and maybe CMC.
Maybe CMC. I'm not a fan of moving money around.
Or kicking down
No.
the can. Look at the Rams.
I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not a fan of kicking the can. I don't like front loading.
Yeah, but the issue is we can
anything that.
money around because we don't have none.
Yeah, well, that's why I think the Niners are so adamant about paying these guys at the top of their position because it gives them this flexibility. They know that they're going to, they have to. They're like, we'll pay you at the top of the middle linebacker market. We'll pay you at the top of the tight end market. We'll pay you at the top of the left tackle market. We'll pay you at the top of the fullback market because you're the only fullback market. We'll pay you, and then we'll restructure you and we'll move money around and you'll collect Social Security here. So I don't know, man. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of moving money around like that. But I understand it's part of the game.
Social Security.
Like D Ford.
Yeah, D Ford.
Yeah, if you start moving Trent's money around,
D Ford over there collected. He collected Social Security from like 15 years ago with the amount of money his ass getting paid.
D Ford is just sitting back with a mimosa, just laughing. But Trent, you want to restructure Trent? That dude will be collecting checks till he's 52.
Hey, Aaron.
What's going on?
I just think that sometimes 49er fans are spoiled, bro. And when the going gets good, it's good. And then when you need to move money around and restructure guys and sign guys, it's like, what are we gonna do, man? I mean, we have to look at Mosley, right? Did you guys talk about Mosley yet?
We literally right when you came in, that was one of the dudes we were speaking about.
That's what you're talking about, the $15 million market?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That dude was worth $15 million before the injury. Now you should be able to get 2 years out of Mosley, $7.5 million a year, or give him $8 million for one, and let him prove it to you that he can stay healthy for the bag. Would Houston pay him
it all guaranteed?
Every last penny?
I think the Texans
or I do too. I think the Texans will definitely pay him, or give him $5 million guaranteed, and incentivize the rest. Give him $10 million. Let him stay healthy for I don't know. Let's say what's reasonable. 15 weeks, 14 weeks, 12 weeks. Make sure you can play 12 weeks without injury. Incentivize a few $1 million, $3 million. Give him, make it worth 12. Guarantee. I don't know. Well, like that's the problem. Like we need to sign Bosa. Bosa's going to take that sweetheart deal. But make no mistake, Bosa's not going to cut you much slack. We talked about that before. We talked about that last week. No, Beto, we said it would be, what did we say? 30, what did we say?
Around 31, 32.
Yeah, 31,
Around 31, 32. Mosley, I want Mosley to come back. I want him here for at least one more year. If he wants to be a Niner, then let's incentivize a 2-year deal and make him earn it. Right? You want $11 million? We'll put you. We'll put you on the books for 6.5, 7, with $3.5 million in incentives.
Yeah, I like that.
If we win the NFC Championship, the playoff push, there can be bonuses, and you can move some money around. They're pretty good at that. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, I would like to see Emmanuel Mosley under Wilkes, leadership, especially since one of his expertise is the secondary. And you're right, John. I think Emmanuel Mosley was worth the 15 prior to getting hurt, but that injury has to now. His injury compared to Jason Verrett is completely different. Emmanuel Mosley doesn't get hurt as much or as easily as Verrett, so I can see somebody just paying him, especially like someone like D'Amico Ryans that is very familiar with him. That's the only concern that I have. Him going to a different team that doesn't really know Emmanuel, I don't know if they'll take that risk on paying him, but knowing that the Texans have that money to give and D'Amico knowing him personally, that's the only thing that I'm afraid of, that he can make an offer that he can't refuse.
Oh, our staff our staff every year gets poached, and so do our players, especially when any of our coaches go on to be head coaches, because it looked like the Miami 49ers last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
You went and grabbed anybody you could think of. They even got River Craycraft for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to continually be that way. People are going to be poached. People are going to be there. I fully expect Jimmy Ward to be in Houston, getting broke off.
Aziz,
yep.
Aziz, I expect him to be there, Mike. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have the money. They've got the draft capital. They have everything that they need for D'Amico to succeed.
They don't have this team complete.
No.
If you're playing for the bag, if you're playing for the money, then look, there's one thing that's guaranteed in this league, right? The money. If you're playing for the money, which you should play for the money, get your money. Mosley, arguably DB1, depending on who you ask. Before the injury, depending on who you ask, he was playing better than Charvarius Ward.
Absolutely.
Okay? So he warranted that $15-16 million market.
Yep.
But you blew out your knee, and that cost you $10 million right off the top.
Yeah.
If it's a poverty team like Houston that needs to build a roster and they're willing to spend the money, and you re-aggravate that knee and you're useless to them in week 5 or 6, then teams are going to be reluctant to sign you even if they've got the money, because they want the player. The money's there. I mean, they want the player. They need you on the field. If you have setbacks, what good are you to these teams that are willing to give you the bag?
Yeah,
but
true.
But then
now,
also,
I understand.
But then
Yeah,
also
go ahead,
you got to. I was about to say also with with that, John, you got to also think about what Diamador Lenore has done on his offseason to counter what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, you better hope that you are in shape and prepared, because he's coming in ready. Like, he's coming off of a NFC Championship game where whoever was on his side, he pretty much locked him up. So
yeah, he
didn't give up a touchdown.
It was awesome.
Exactly. All he did was get better.
That's a great point.
So you know what I mean? And he's healthy. You know what I mean? So, hey, money is good, but then you have to play the role of, if you truly want to play. That's the part that you got to be honest with yourself on, because Diamador ain't just going to give it to you. You just got to be honest with that part.
No, with that said, Rob, though, that by that statement you just made, that Lenore's not going to give it to him, it just validates more that he could be going to the Texans, because at least
Yeah.
there, not only
Yeah.
would he get the bag, but they guarantee he will be a starter.
Yep.
Oh yeah, he ain't got no. There's nobody over there that's gonna give him no fits or no problems. And plus, this is the first injury, if I'm not mistaken, that he's had that's major. You know what I'm saying? People get nicks, bumps, scrapes, bruises. I think Julian Edelman, helped people understand the best by just helping people know, like, hey, you played a whole season hurt. You
But
truthfully did.
But he would be a number 2 even in Houston, because they got that rookie, or well, now he'll be a second year.
Second
The
year.
guy from LSU, the kid from LSU, the cornerback. He was.
But
their
he'll be a
first
starter,
rounder.
though.
Yeah, that's my point. Yeah, so he would be number 2. Yeah, he still wouldn't be the CB1 over there in Houston.
But I mean, he has a better shot at it.
Yeah, he'd be the vet. He'd be the.
He's a vet, and then at the same time, I think what happens is D'Amico, even if that guy is CB1, he could bump him down to CB2 and be like, look, this dude has the experience. He understands my system. And the reason I'm putting him above you is because I'm implementing this, and I need you to work with him so that he can tell
Bad
you
business,
what your is.
That's
No, it's
bad
not.
business.
Nope. Let me give you a reason why it's not
The
bad
injury
business.
is a factor in the formula when they draw up the contract. The
But what
injury is still going to affect the money. It doesn't matter what team it is. If they're doing good business, they're going to factor the injury.
Yeah.
It's just
I'm not talking about his money. I'm not talking about his money at all. I'm stating his position on the team. They're going to pay him whatever they're going to pay him. Yes, injury will be factored in. I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm saying is they will, as far as to Rod's point, he could still be CB1 because of his knowledge of D'Amico's system. And if you are a smart player, you want to be on your P's and Q's. You want to dot your I's and cross your T's. So I'm going to pick his brain as much as I can, and I might be able to even steal my CB1 spot back by garnering enough knowledge from him and bringing that into my play and learning how to use it properly. So
Now this
I get what you're saying as far as the numbers. I don't disagree. I'm just saying
getting out of Cali is probably getting out of Cali and going to Texas.
Oh yeah, Texas.
Is obviously
that's a no-brainer.
It's
That's a
apples and
no-brainer.
That's a
oranges
smart
when you're
business
looking at the
move.
money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tax-free state.
Hey,
Being down there in Texas, number 1. Number 2, you also got to think about this, though. Again, I said it last week, that turf. You know what I'm saying? If he goes down there to Houston,
especially with
that
that
turf.
ACL.
Exactly, coming in with that ACL.
Well,
you
if he
just
means that
tore it.
much to you, Rod, if you're the Houston Texans and you want him bad enough,
Yo, you
then
got to
that
show
should
him the
be-
bag.
You know what?
Yeah.
I want real grass if I come here, and if you're
D'Amico should have
you're
laid
looking
that down.
around-
D'Amico
Yeah,
should have made
D'Amico.
those freaking changes. To put
And
real
you
grass
know what
in.
though, and maybe he did. Maybe he did, or maybe he will. I'm sure that's a conversation that they would definitely have. They'll listen to it. But at the end of the day, if you're Mosley and you're looking around that secondary, these aren't your boys. Like, this is not your squad. These aren't the guys that you rode here with. Like, I don't know, man. I guess if it's what's best for you and your family or anybody that's depending on you financially, if that's your priority, and it should be your priority. I mean, don't take me wrong. If that's that should be the priority for the individual, right? The money first. The money first.
Yeah.
But if you're playing devil's advocate, you're looking at this and you're like, look, do you really feel at home? Like you've got D'Amico here, but is the grass always greener?
Right.
It
You know what I
truthfully
mean?
cannot be, but here's the flip side to that is very simple. NFL stand for not for long. And what has E-Man been on since he's been in the league and been here with us? Those small deals. You know what I'm saying? He got his 2-year deal, and this was the last year of that 2-year deal.
Well, I mean, he
And the
gets
thing
banged
is-
up, D. That dude
No, not
gets
but he
banged
doesn't
up.
but he doesn't get banged up like that. Okay, we're not talking Jason
Didn't he-
Verrett.
Didn't he
I was
have a
just
head
gonna bring him
injury
up.
that knocked him out for half the season? A concussion? Am I mixing people
I
up?
think you're mixing somebody up. I don't think E-Man ever had a concussion that knocked him out for half a season, at least not to my knowledge. If I'm wrong, if somebody in the chat knows, by all means, you can correct me. I'm
trying to
not
think.
above
Somebody
that.
had a concussion.
But I don't think with E-Man, I don't recall him being an injury-prone type of player. And see, the thing is when you get like that first injury, it's like, all right, cool. You got the injury. Are you clear? Are you good? Can you do the things we need you to do? Fine. We'll go ahead and do something. But the issue is, the only reason that somebody like Jason Verrett kept getting continual chances is because they know what he is on the field when he's healthy. When healthy, Jason Verrett is a top 3 cornerback. No one can tell me different. The issue is he ain't never fucking healthy. So
real quick.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
So his games played, 2018, he only played 1 game. 2019, he played 16. 2020, he only played 12. 2021, he played 11. And 2022, he played 5. So he's only played 1 whole season.
So he's okay. So he has missed games.
We are the most injury-prone team.
Yes, we are.
In the league since Kyle and John have got here.
So here's my next question for you guys. What do the Niners do with Jason Verrett?
You let him walk.
Yeah, why are we even talking about him?
Yeah.
With Jimmy
Let
Garoppolo.
that man walk.
Yeah.
If he could walk with
Jimmy G.
an ACL or ripping an Achilles, I feel bad for him taking steps. Like this, I'll say this. I like Jason Verrett. I wanted him coming out of TCU. Oh, I was praying we drafted him. But you know how I keep getting screwed with DBs and the 49ers? You know what they keep doing? They keep letting the goddamn Chargers pick the DBs I want. I wanted Jason Verrett. Where did he go? San Diego at the time. They were not LA. I wanted Asante Samuel Jr. Where did he go? LA at the time. So it's like they refuse to invest in a cornerback out of college. It's just not the way of the Niners. They just won't do it. I mean, hell, before we signed Mooney, I think having Jason Verrett was a big cornerback signing. What, years and years and years ago, I think in the early 2000s, we signed Nate fucking Clements. And that was like our biggest DB signing. He didn't even do shit. So it's like we won't invest, but we want output. It's like, you got to give up some bread to be able to do things. I'm just saying, you got to pay folk. It's just, it's bad. And yeah, look at that right there, man. From the Harbaugh era to now, we've led the league in ACL tears.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought by switching GMs that we would go away from getting these injury-prone players. Oh, no. Mr. Lynch, I got a big heart. I got, I know he's injured, but we can rehab him and we'll bring him in next year. I'm sorry, John. We need players on the field this far right now. We don't need year. Because I'm gonna tell you right now. If Kalia Davis' ass ain't on the field and he doesn't turn into a fucking star, it's gonna do nothing but piss me off. Because I get so tired of watching us get players that are injury prone. And this is John and Kyle, and I'm blaming both of them because they the ones making the decisions. You can't blame me. I just come with the opinion. But it's stupid to me that we keep going after these guys and say, we'll redshirt this guy. Bro, we need people to be on the field producing. Players would honestly dislike me if I was a GM because I would look at your history. If you too injury prone, I'm not paying you. If I looked at D Ford before we signed him, he wouldn't have got that kind of money. I'm like, you want to come here? You do? Okay. So let's sit down and talk about this. Your health depends on your money. You know why? Because I'm not paying you to sit on the bench. I'm not paying you to sit at home and rehab. I'm paying you to get out here and help me win games because at the end of the day, every team's end goal is a Super Bowl. Period. You can't tell me different. From the worst team in the league to the best team in the league. You think the Texas organization starts every year going, I hope we go 5-12. No, they don't. They start the year going, we need to win the division, get in the playoffs. Once we get in the playoffs, we need to win the Super Bowl. Every team starts the year that way. Every team. Now, behind closed doors, may there be more real circumstances that are talked about? Hell yeah. Because some teams know they ain't winning shit. Texans, I'm sorry, they ain't winning no Super Bowl this year. Not going to happen. The Bears ain't winning the Super Bowl this year. Not going to happen. The Browns ain't winning the Super Bowl this year. It's a simple situation. You have to understand that you are rebuilding and you are putting money into your franchise. Spend your money correctly and spend it on people who are going to help you win. And to John's point earlier about basically, people eating up a lot of the money. There's two ways you can go about this. You can go to Steven Jackson route, or you can go to Tom Brady route. Tom Brady, tell me this. Tom Brady is not the most underpaid quarterback that ever played football. He is. But you know what he did? He got 7 rings out of being underpaid, and he garnered his deals elsewhere. Why do you think he married Giselle for all them years? She taught him how to get money outside of football. I just went to the Scottsdale Mall. Tom Brady, big ass head is on a big ass fucking poster. And you know 5 feet away from that is Joe. She's still out there doing shit. So it's not making a difference. You figure your way to get money elsewhere, because when you eat up too much of the cap space, you don't leave money for anyone else. That's it.
This dude.
No, there's no clock on me, Steve O Supremo. When I go on a rant, goddamn rant.
Oh,
You see this right here?
shut up.
See this? This is me every fucking day. All right. I am the Grinch that stole the ball. God damn it. But that's just basically it, man. You have to be smart about it. I want to ask you a question. So I'm listening to another. I was listening to another podcast. They were talking about us being the most injured team. They gave us our team grades, the grades that the NFLPA does, and guess where we ranked with our staff and our training room? We got a fucking C. So what does that tell you? We ain't up to snuff. We ain't up to date with the recovery things. Why do you think all these people keep getting injured? We ain't got enough stuff in there. You got that kind of money and you can't put nothing in the training facility? I just want to know what y'all think about that, because to me, when you're cheap on your training facility, it makes you cheap on other things. So what do y'all think?
Yeah.
Yeah, but are we cheap on the equipment, or are they grading the training staff?
No, they're grading they graded the equipment and I think a little bit of the staff. But Mariah, go ahead and make your point.
The staff's separate. It was the room that got the C.
Yeah, it was the size.
And it was for the size of the tubs and not enough tables.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, you built this $4 million or $4 billion ass crack stadium. You didn't give yourself enough room in there to put some damn masseuse tables?
Yeah, you would. Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Is space a problem here? That thing looks like a museum. It doesn't even look like a stadium. Look at Vegas. Look at SoFi. Those things look like crazy stadiums. They look great. Ours looks like,
Preacher,
I don't
brother.
know, looks like an outlet mall. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell?
Vegas
I don't
nice.
know.
Is that a product
now
of
that
the
the
Silicon
grades are
Valley,
out,
though?
Maybe
think so.
they had to approve of the design. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You can't make it look like a goddamn space shuttle, because they're not gonna like that over there. So
Yeah.
you're gonna have to make it look,
You
something like
A
Also,
retail.
too,
like
Yeah.
you would think they would make a roof stadium as well, where you can open and close.
Not in
it.
California, though. It's not too hot. Never gets too hot.
I mean, if you're in Ohio,
it
you would
does.
do that. But if you're in California, you don't want to do that. The Browns play next to a
Tell him,
lake.
John. Tell
My
him.
You
first,
know what I mean?
my first freaking time at that stadium, I was fucking dying in heat at WrestleMania. Like,
Half
Well, that
of
was
it's
your
in the
first
sun.
mistake. You went to WrestleMania.
hey, it's a once in a lifetime, dude. It's a once in a lifetime.
Get a visor. Get a visor.
Yeah, bro. It
Get a
doesn't get too
visor.
hot to
Come on, man.
yeah. You're not playing in Arizona.
I don't know, man. That's a damn shame. You're talking about the training, the recovery room, or the training staff where they need to work on the players. That is too small of a space.
Too small of a space.
And they need more tables.
Yeah.
It says the tubs. It says the responses for the team were positive in all but one section, the training room, a crucial area for players to rehab and recover. The tubs and rehab pool are viewed as small, and there are lack of tables and space in the training room itself.
Yep.
Wow.
D4 broke everything. Probably ruined shit.
Yeah, on his way out, he was like, "Man, fuck
Before he
this."
left, had a
He's
tantrum.
like, you know what? He's like, let me take a couple of these tables.
Right?
I'm already taking these free checks that y'all giving me, so I might as well
Yeah.
take a couple of tables
Somebody
on
takes
my way
towels
out.
from a hotel. I'll take the tables from the facility.
Right? He took tables. That motherfucker. He probably took a train or two. Hey, you good with a back? Yeah, come on, let's go. You know,
Hey,
The tubs
He
are
almost
small.
took Jed York's
These are
wife, but she's
big.
too ugly.
Grant Cole said Ken Law was the king of the training room. But the tubs are small. They ain't fitting that big motherfucker in there.
Yeah, that's
Come
what I
on,
was
Dude, what
that's
are you doing with the measurement of the tubs? What happened?
Yeah, that's.
I mean, what are you
wow.
I don't know. Like I think what happens is, and this is just me being honest, people get frugal, man. Motherfuckers cut corners wherever they want to cut corners because you can save yourself the money. But at the end of the day, the reason that you see certain teams continually succeeding is because they put the money into the franchise to make sure that they have what they need. And that's the difference. So if you have a training facility that's not that good and you don't have the proper things for these guys to recover properly, then yes, you can expect injuries to linger and or not be handled properly.
I mean, I'm
And you
trying
gotta
to think of
listen
this,
to them,
Dion.
too.
Bro, I'm trying to look at this like this. What if they're good tubs? They're just not big enough. Who's complaining? The biggest guy? Like Alfredo Gutierrez? What's he got to bitch about? That motherfucker's recovering one leg at a time in them tubs.
Well,
Yeah.
no, but what I'm saying is you gotta go to the
Armstead was in there
owner
half of the
and tell
season.
him- Yeah, you gotta
Yeah,
go to the
what
owner
was
and
he
tell him,
doing?
hey, look, man, get this shit together because this is not gonna work. Your tub
All
put
right.
like this. Think about it like this. And this is just me, spitballing here. If I have players, my tub itself should be no smaller than 8 feet. You know why? Because then somebody that can get ain't gonna be no players 8 feet fucking tall as it is.
Yeah.
But if you kind of want to, slouch down a little further and whatnot, you got a little extra space. So you think about it like that. Like you think about it, if you look at it now, a lot of the players don't work out crazy heavy anymore because you're not doing enough to warrant that. Y'all know Larry Allen used to bench press 600 fucking pounds? That's insane. Who bench presses 600 goddamn pounds? That's just you. I'm thinking the bar's gonna snap in the first place because this is too much damn weight. But it's a situation where people do things differently, and you can find different ways. Man, there's technology out there that shouldn't cost you that much. That people are willing to be able to give you as a loaner just to see how it works. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you got to be able to make sure that these guys are getting the proper rehab so they can last and be out there on the field to earn that paycheck. And if
7
Jed
foot
York
tub,
is that
8-foot tub. I mean, Dion, I'm all
I'm
about
just- all
getting
I'm-
the better,
all
get
I'm
better
saying
tubs, get more tables.
I'm just
But
saying,
let's be honest. I'm
make
kind of
sure
with
it's right.
Terradome. We're kind of soft.
Or draft everybody the size of Brock Purdy. You don't have to worry about the tubs.
Oh
the tub is
shit,
a tub,
Silverado
right?
Kev in here. Oh damn it,
What's up,
Oh, shit.
Silverado?
Hey, we gotta get Kevin here one time.
we do. Nah, man,
What's up with it,
Kev's a
Kev?
big baller, man. I'm gonna put him out there. Kev stepped up in the real world. Well, he doesn't have time for little folks like us.
Yeah, we're too.
He doesn't have time for you, light skin.
What's
we're
up,
not in the-
Kev? Good to see you, family.
dang.
Right. What up,
Wait,
Kev?
did Brandon just call me light skin?
No,
I
called you that.
Get away with that bullshit. He tried to call me like Brandon.
Oh,
You can't do that, sir. You can't do that. And it's
I
not
was
because
like, whoa,
and it's
okay.
not because you not black. It's because you way too lighter than me. We call it
You're
anything.
way too light, bro.
I am. Hey, but I am part more, okay?
Just because you
Said
have
you
black
what?
in you, Brandon, doesn't mean you're black.
Damn.
Hey, everybody out there watching. I didn't mean
I'm
to start
sorry.
any of that. I just literally. I like Rod and Mariah over there. No comment.
He's like, no
Not,
comment.
y'all not bringing me into this. No comment.
Right here. Look at Kev said it best.
Oh, hey, look, man. You look. You know what I'm saying? It. I don't mind it. It's always all love.
Terradome, nowhere to go but bright skinned.
Mean shit.
Oh shit!
That's great.
They're bringing it, man.
Hey, let's kind of talk about the scouting combine. I know today was the first day, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah, I gotta actually go and watch it. I didn't get a chance to
Yeah,
watch.
I haven't
it.
watched any of
Yeah,
it.
me either.
Yeah, I
I don't
haven't
know
watched
anything.
any of
Neither have
it.
I, but I saw Brad's been posting, like the people that the Niners have talked to so far.
I know Nelson Smith ran a 4.4. That was pretty good for big ass D lineman.
Wait, you had a
Ran
D
fast.
lineman run a 4.4?
Yep.
He
Yeah.
ran faster.
Dion,
No,
he
this
was
ain't the
faster
first
than Debo.
last season.
Yeah, he
I
ran
think
faster than
that-
Debo, faster than Diggs. Stephon
Dang.
Diggs.
What did that dude oh god. What was his name, guys? I think did Philly draft him?
Who?
I can't remember his name. Dude ran he ran under 5 and he was like, pushing 300 pounds, dude.
He's basically too there to be running that fast.
Yeah.
Listen, it's not unusual. I'm not surprised that these guys are pushing 3, running 4.4s, 4.5s, 4.7s, 4.8s. I'm not surprised. These guys are getting more and more athletic, and they're not getting any smaller. It's crazy. It's just crazy. They're just getting more and more athletic.
Yeah, hey, look,
Isaiah
I don't care what
Simmons.
nobody says. I felt like when they got athletic, when JPP hit like 80 backflips at the combine, that was just insanity to me. Somebody that damn big to have that kind of athleticism is just crazy. Like it's
But all
just
that, but all that having that size and everything don't mean shit if you don't know how to use it. Isaiah,
it's very
Isaiah-
true, man.
Yeah,
You
just
can't
think
go in
about
the
this.
league and get broke off.
Isaiah Simmons ran a 4.39, right? Now,
Yep.
remember the first play 2 years ago? Raheem Mostert caught a little out route out of the backfield, turned it and was gone.
Mhm.
That was a 1-on-1. So that 4.3 meant nothing. So we take advantage of stuff like that. I mean, it's good. It sounds good, but if you don't know how to utilize your speed and what you have, it means absolutely nothing.
I like what Dan Campbell
always
said from the
felt like-
Lions. He says, I don't care about how fast they run and how they look in tights. I want to see the tape.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'll
What
tell
can
you
you
right
do?
now, 40 needs to be run fully padded. Fully padded.
Right.
You need to have every pad on that you normally would wear, and you need to take. You can take if you want to get down in that stance, you can. But chances are that's the worst thing you could do because that helmet's going to weigh too much, and you're going to probably fall forward a billion times. How these motherfuckers
How many
stand
reps are you
straight?
gonna? How many times are you gonna run that? 2. You
Two.
know what I'm saying?
I would
run it.
you run it twice like they normally do.
No.
But
I'm saying throughout a game, you're not going to
Thank
keep
you,
up
John.
4.3 speed
No.
Thank you.
consecutively for 4 quarters of football. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going to get your big plays or
Yep.
you're not. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yep.
agree. Put the pads on, run twice. But these guys are just they're just watching these guys do it to just understand the level of athleticism that these guys
That
have.
they actually possess.
Yep.
Yeah, because
You know what I mean?
you can't really do anything with a dude that runs a Chris Johnson. You're not doing anything with him.
What the hell is
Well,
hell is a D lineman going to run 40? What's he going to? He's going to
Never.
chase somebody down.
Never.
You know what I mean? I like knowing that on a team like us, where we can never contain mobile quarterbacks, I would like to have I'd like to have an edge rusher that could chase you down, a little bit, but I'm not expecting a 40-yard dash out of you.
Drake Jackson.
But then you got to think about, that's why I look at the 40-yard dash anyway is arguably one of the most pointless events or whatever
drills.
that they do. Yeah, drills, because it's like, how often do you see anything that's 40 yards in a game?
Yeah, it's very rare.
Very rare. So
You
it's like,
and then you have to think about it.
You're
You're never running a straight line.
exactly. That's my whole
Your
point.
motion
Somebody's
is
chasing
always
you.
imputed, because if you're able to actually get to a point where you can run a straight line, it's chances are slim to none.
Exactly.
And if you get that, then yes, you can showcase speed. But the thing is we can tell the 40 to fuck off. You know why? Because there's this little thing in your shoulder pad. It's a chip and it's run by AWS. And you know what that does? That tracks your speed in real motherfucking time.
Yep.
And you know what it also says? That Tyreek Hill is still not the fastest man in the damn league. Tyreek Hill is number 2. Actually, he number 3. You know why? Because they've been tracking this for years. And there are 2 people that have magic faster than Tyreek Hill. Fully padded, by the way. Their names are Raheem Mostert. Who did he play for previously? The 49ers. And the other guy.
Another
Matt
Niner. Matt Breida, yep.
Yeah, D, but you justified that years ago. I paid attention when you said those boys were taught how to run. They were taught posture. They were taught how to run.
Yeah.
You said that Tyreek Hill could be a threat to
He
both.
could.
If
He
was
could.
taught-
He
if
could
he was
be
taught how to run.
Yeah, he could be disgusting, but Tyreek is one of those people, and this is just for anybody that understands the track world. Tyreek has just freakish, natural, God-given speed. Some people are just fast. It don't matter how they run. It don't matter where they blazers. They got it. Some people, it's like when you fine-tune something, got it. But the issue with the guys who have the God-given natural ability is they head too big. They don't think they need to change nothing. They're doing everything perfectly. So that's why they continue to wind up that millisecond or second slower than the other person, because they're not willing to change that. So for me, either way, I always like to take a dig at Tyreek Hill. I hope one day he actually comes back at me and says something, but it's just simple. The 40 is one of the most underrated things ever. What do we got? Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, so 49ers met with Jay Ward, a DB from LSU, another DB, Mekhi Blackman from USC. Of course. Southern Carolina DB, Darius Rush. We got a safety, Jared Brown. Got another cornerback, Riley Moss. Okay, so that, what this tells me with them meeting with all these DBs? They're probably going to let E-Man walk.
You think so?
Honestly, with them talking to that many defensive backs and that many people, I honestly feel like they may let E-Man walk, because he's coming off an injury. They're looking at guys that they may want to draft. And think about it. We don't have a pick in the first or the second round. Where do we usually start drafting our DBs? Third and further out.
On top of that, it just gives us more, because we got to be honest with ourselves. We only have maybe this year with number 31, free safety, Gibson. Yeah, we only have Gibson maybe this year, Then after that, he'll be gone. So you got to get a replacement for him. And then Jimmy Ward, we still don't even know, we don't know if, he's outpriced, you know what I'm saying? As far as the free market, agency and everything. So that's at least two people that we have to really pay attention to, not hypothetically, just being prepared, not being here this year. Just being on the safe
Tarvarius
side.
Moore, right? They're bouncing on him.
Oh, he's gone.
Well, we literally don't have a free safety.
Yeah, he's gone.
No.
Moore, Gibson, and Ward are all free agents.
Yep.
So I'm going to
I don't know how they feel about Ambry Thomas, right? Ambry Thomas has been non-existent.
They
Womack,
may-
we still don't know what they feel they got in Womack.
I'm gonna ask you real quick, Mariah, what you think it is, because I want your opinion. I'm thinking when it comes to Ambry Thomas, they're only keeping him because they feel like Wilkes might be able to pull something out of him, because he is good with DBs from his track record.
Okay.
What do you think, Mariah? What do you think they holding on to Ambry, or what do you think of our cornerback room altogether, just in that situation?
I don't know if that's why they're holding on to him, but I do think that if please don't put me on that screen.
Put her on the spot, Beto.
Yeah,
you
that's
doing,
the
Brandon?
worst freaking thing that there is.
I hate it too, Mariah. Don't worry.
I do think that if we don't see something from him this season, that this is his last season with us. I don't think you'd cut your losses already unless you do draft somebody or you think that room's strong enough, because he's still cheap right now. So, but if anybody can turn him around, hopefully it's Wilkes. I do think, going back to E-Man real quick, I was, as soon as E-Man got hurt, I was, let's sign him, bring him back regardless. But I do think with how Diamador Lenore played and with the Texans having that much money, I think it makes it less likely that he comes back. I think if Diamador would have filled in and was shit, then they probably tried to bring back E-Man. But with as well as he played, and then you have John Lynch talking him up too in this presser, I think that they probably feel comfortable going forward with Trevarius and Diamador back there.
Totally
It's a
agree.
damn shame. That scares me because I feel like you're right, Mariah. It scares me. I
But
guess,
John, we got to be real.
I mean,
No, I'm with you.
No.
We just
I
gotta be
understand. I
real.
fully understand.
Yeah, because it's like the only thing that happened is Diamador Lenore, he took advantage of his opportunity.
Yeah,
That's all he
He
did.
really did. He really
You know what I'm
did.
saying? And what do
Yep.
we always expect the next person to do? The next man's supposed to step up.
Take advantage of those opportunities when they present itself.
Exactly. The only reason why at the time, yes, Mosley was playing at a pro type level at the beginning. Hell, up until the point he got injured. Diamador Lenore got in there and, he got his feet wet a little bit at the beginning and towards, he had his bumps in the road, but in the playoffs, he got it, for the most part, he got it together. He got an interception in almost every game, except for the NFC Championship. Like, he played like he has a right to be at least in competition for that spot. It's not going to be easy the way that he played. If he continues that, again, we got to remember too, Ambry did this last year to us. He gave us that fool's gold at the end of the year, made us, or at least he made me feel like I was a believer in him. And then he wet the bed this year. We ain't seen him, like, Terradone said, he's on a milk carton right now. So we don't know what the hell he is right now. So it's no telling. I was thinking about trading him, but
I think Ambry was good in man-to-man coverage. I think it was zone coverage that he struggled with.
Yeah, because he's not a zone. He's not a zone DB. He comes from
he's not a zone
playing
DB.
man at Michigan.
Right.
So trying to, and sometimes what people don't understand, the transition from one to the other can be hard, because if you're a zone guy like Sherm, the reason that Richard Sherman lasted as long as he did in the league was because of this. He was smart. His mental made him a better defensive back. You know what I'm saying? The reason Dion lasted in the league was he had the smarts and he had the God-given talent.
Absolutely.
It's rare for you to get both in a player, so you have to play to their strengths. So, yeah, it's always going to be hard like that.
Yeah. We went into every game thinking that Diamador Lenore, he was like the weak link. Man, we just hope that he's going, we hope that, and then it got into the playoff time, and it ended up flipping into a Mooney War, where we're like, I hope he doesn't give up a big game this year, or this week and stuff like that. Like, he made us flip our own thoughts. So You know, you gotta. Diamador Lenore is making us put some respect on his name. You can't just
Yeah.
sit up there and just, you know, act like he's not shit or he didn't do anything to definitely improve.
No, that's a fact. He
Yep.
kicked it. He killed it, bro. I mean, he beat out Leon O'Neal when I remember D'Amico coming to the podium and just talking up. It was early. They were asking about Diamador Lenore. They were asking about Leon O'Neal. They were asking about Ambry Thomas, and he mentioned these guys are competing. There wasn't a whole lot out yet. You know what I mean? Like Lenore turned it on, dude, when his opportunity came. Like the dude just came out of the gates. Dream come true, right? I mean, he competed with the best of them. He had a stellar season, bro, and I'm all for it. I think that we need to draft a DB that's at least 6'1", 6'2", someone tall, someone that can go up there and get those 1v1s. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I know that they want these guys at what, like 5'11", 6 foot. Is that ideal for a DB?
Typically, yeah, because you don't find DBs that are over 6 feet tall. It's extremely rare that you have one.
I agree with Terradome and what he's saying there, you know, to try at least go after CJ Gardner. Johnson from Philly, agree with that. On top of that, he will play another position as well. Like he has no problem going into the slot just in case. Like he's all over the field in the secondary. So I would definitely.
What's he cost us?
We don't know. He's a free agent, so we don't know. We have no idea. So he's a free agent. Who knows? We just have to see what he's really about. If he's you trying to really win a ring, or what? Or are you just honestly gonna stay there in Philly? He's not winning one there.
Yeah. We got anything else from anybody?
You have anything else?
How y'all feel about the Trey Lance situation going on? How you like the team and how they're treating him?
I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate
Yeah,
it so much.
I
There's
just
so
don't-
much that
I don't
pisses me
know.
off.
It's kind of it's pissing me off too. Like,
I don't like this Cabo card. Y'all be part of this Cabo card. You know what I mean? You got your Cabo card. I really think that people are reading a little too much into the Cabo situation, because I really don't think that trip tells you a story. I don't think that you're pushing Trey out of the clique. I don't know. I know there is a clique there, but I kind of just think that, like, out of 53 men, bro, you're not going to get everybody wearing a party hat. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like these guys are going to go out and they got to live their lives.
I just think that was like, I just feel like that was like one of the top vets type trips. I don't really think, captains.
I mean, I don't even
big
know.
guys.
Yeah,
I don't really
maybe.
don't
I
trip
just-
off of it.
I didn't either. I really didn't either. But I don't like the influence that the locker room has. I don't like that I don't like the influence in the locker room. Whether it's from George, Juice, McGlinchey, I don't know if Trent's a part of that group. I don't know who's leading the influence in that locker room where that shit that burns me, man, because I'm not good with that. Like,
Debo has a lot to do
I
with
feel
it.
like Debo, I don't like it. I don't like it. And Debo, you can get your ass traded, bro. So you better chill, because Ayuk's going to get paid. So I don't know.
I feel like this
chill
is
on
deep.
that.
Debo
Better
needs
chill.
to come into this year acting like he was going into contract season. Like this year, it was, to me, it just felt like he was all about flashiness. This is what I got for getting paid. That's good. I'm happy that you got to secure your family and everything like that. But
Yeah.
you didn't play. Granted, I understand you had some injuries. We get that, but ultimately, you didn't show me too much of anything. this year. It was like a empty calorie type season. It was pointless in a way. Again,
Yeah, because now you got CMC. Now you're expendable, and I don't even think they realized what they had in CMC until they got CMC.
Exactly.
Right.
And
that made Debo so diluted in retrospect. Like, dude, just CMC was incredible.
Yeah.
Which, when you're looking back at what you spent, the deal that you made, you're like, damn.
And on top of that too is Ayuk was getting more touches than Debo as well this year.
Oh yeah.
Well, he missed some
He
time,
missed half
right?
this.
Debo?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Debo missed
No,
time.
I know
He
that,
missed-
but even when he was in there, you saw the ball going to Ayuk more than Debo, I feel like.
Absolutely.
It's very difficult to spread the ball with as many weapons as you have, right? I mean,
that's
you
true.
really have to find a balance. So that was probably one of the biggest. That's probably one of the biggest challenges for an offensive coordinator is how am I going to distribute this ball amongst all these playmakers? Somebody's gonna get less, right? Debo, you got the bag, so.
But you know what? With Debo this year, and maybe it was me, I feel like on 80% of the plays that were pass plays that weren't going to Debo was not giving his all on plays like that, especially his route running. You can tell when he was not getting the ball at all. Like, it was just, there was no type of act like you could be the third. Granted, I know Jimmy might have been majority of the season at the time when he was in there and he was healthy before Brock, ended up taking it over at that. And we know Jimmy is just a one read person. But it's just like, damn, dude, even once Brock got there, he was just like, I know I'm not getting the ball. And I just know I watched plenty of plays this past season where it was like, come on, Debo, you can't make it this obvious that you're not getting the ball. Come on, man. You're getting paid way too much for this type. But once again,
Rod, I didn't even notice it as much now. Thinking back, Merle, that's a great point. Did anybody else see that?
He wasn't playing to the level that he normally plays. And I mean, when the sad part for Debo is the time that he missed is why his numbers look bad the way they do. When you ain't on the field, you can't put up numbers like that. I think the only player we had that lucked out with missing a ton of games, missing a nice enough amount of the season for it to really hurt, but still almost got 1,000 yards was Elijah Mitchell. Like, that was just amazing that man missed the time that he did and still almost had 1K in yardage. So it just all depends on the effort and the output, and I mean, to go back, I remember when Darrelle Revis was doing an interview and they were asking him about his techniques as a cornerback, and he had retired by then. And they said, who's one of the guys that, you went up against that you felt like you knew very well? And he said, Ocho Cinco. And they said, well, what about him? Did you know? And he said, well, he had the simplest tell. When he was getting the ball, he would tug on his right glove twice. So he was like, I knew how to play him based off of that. Like, I could literally look at that and be like, all right, cool. He ain't tugging on his glove. He ain't getting the ball. And I knew to be able to stay there and shadow him versus playing him tough. I mean, even though I feel like Darrelle Revis was just okay as a DB, he wasn't fucking great. You know what I mean? So, and it to Rod's point, man, when team and to what Terradome is saying right here, when they know you're not getting the ball, they ain't worried about it. And it's less for me to be bothered with. You're not going to block as hard. You're not going to be too, you're not going to be as dedicated to the plays you previously would when you was hungry. Now you done got fed, so don't get lackadaisical. Still be the same person that you were before you got that bread so that money can continue to come in, because it's only, I think, like wide receivers, quarterbacks, maybe a cornerback where you get 2 contracts. And Debo needs this contract because when he came into the league, he was well past, 21. See, when you come in the league at 21, you can get at least 2 good, solid contracts. And when you leave the league, As long as you didn't screw your money off and you were smart with it, you should be financially stable. There should be no reason why you don't have money, why you haven't created longevity or any type of generational wealth for yourself and your family. But when you come in the league late, you got to ball just to get that one big deal. Then you got to hope that they let you play through that whole joint. Because teams, we all know how teams move. When the guaranteed money gone, you become expendable. Look at what's about to happen to Jalen Ramsey. He about to get traded. Why?
Yep.
You've become expendable, sir. Aaron Donald is worth more to us than you are. You got to go. But everybody knew this was going to happen with the Rams. Why? Because they kept spending so much fucking money.
His production wasn't worth the damn either. He didn't do much. I don't think he did. I don't think he did much anyway. I think Ramsey was overrated to start, in my opinion. I think he's overrated in my opinion. That's just me though. But I mean, at the end of the day, dude, we feature a different receiver each week. 187 said the offense changes week to week. You kind of have to feature someone week to week in this system because, like I said, it's hard to distribute the ball.
Yeah, you can do that, but when you're a defensive person, I'm an ex-athlete. I watch tendencies of players. So if I study a player and I watch them, I watch tendencies of what you do no matter what, whether you're getting the ball, whether you're not getting the ball, how you look for the ball, which way you turn, how your mind, like I watch everything on a person. So when I saw everything and I'm looking at Debo and I'm like, this, you just out here getting a check right now. And then, for a second, it's like, okay, now you playing like Debo. So it's like, it's confusing, but then you notice, like, I watch it. I'm like, oh, he's not getting the ball. Oh, I know he's not getting the ball. I know he's not getting the ball. Like, I knew it every time because I pay attention to it. That's just an instinctful thing of watching tape on somebody. If you really watch tape on people and you know defense like that, you know what I'm saying? You're going to watch somebody, their tendencies and everything that they do. So
that's a great point.
That's just an old athlete.
For sure. And if you see it, they see it. They're looking back at what they spent.
Yeah.
And they're going to tell you, bro, pick it up.
Pick it up.
Pick it up this season because, and I mean, do you think that he was ginger on that ankle or did you see this prior to the injury?
Prior to. I've seen this. I'm being honest with you. Go back and look at the NFC Championship game from last year. Look at the fourth quarter on. Watch every play when you notice when Debo wasn't getting the ball. Now, I understood. I would be a little pissed off too, considering you guys rolled me to get to this point. And now when it comes to crunch time, you're not giving me the ball. Yeah. I do get that part of it. Now you got the bag. Now you got the money. So now when you were hustling and trying to get money, you got it now. Well, I'm like, hey,
I can relax
too much. Exactly. And then I got this Jordan contract too. Don't let me forget that one also. So a bunch of stuff and his brand and everything that he has going on, now that plays a different role. So now when you look at certain stuff and how
he got sleep number 2,
how they move, exactly, you start moving differently because now your network is different. So that's why, oh man, I ain't got to run as hard. This check, I'm gonna make this one work. Trust me, we good for the rest of our lives. Just how they operate. Just how they operate. It's sad. It's very few. You have very few greats that can walk around in any sport and know that they want it, that they're hungry for that game, and they'll go through a wall and then some to try and do whatever. But come on now. LeBron James is a billionaire. He's walking around with a boot on his foot. But you got AD, Mr. Glass, man, and he coughs and he's injured. So, you know what I'm saying?
Don't get me started on AD, bro.
Oh, shit.
Right.
Hey,
so,
look, it's very
if LeBron
simple.
Don't play, I don't want to play.
It's very simple. The only reason LeBron James is still in the league is because he's trying to play with his son. This is literally the only reason that man is still playing basketball. If he can
It's
get
a lot
at
of
least-
dedication.
if he
to
can
put
have
your
one
body
season,
through.
yeah. But the thing
You're
is,
dedicated to that. His craft. He spends $1 million a year on training staff to
Yeah.
sustain that. To sustain that the stamina, the wherewithal to make it through an NBA season. And I mean, that could very well be true. I'm not going to discredit you on that. And I mean, if he can do that, God bless him. Do whatever. I mean, dude, you get one opportunity on this planet. Make it what you will. If you want to spend it, if you want to spend the back end of your NBA career, you've already met every milestone there is, dude. You've done it all. If you want to be the first
he
dude to
hasn't.
stick around and play with your son, so do it. Okay,
He ain't met it. You know why?
You've achieved some. I understand you haven't won 6 trophies. I get it.
No. This has nothing to do with MJ. This has something to do with something that he's robbed us of. And the top players in the league.
The dunk contest.
Why are you robbing us of that? Why? Why rob us of that? Bro, this dude does freakishly spectacular shit in a game on a regular basis. His athleticism is unrivaled. I've never seen anything like that for somebody to be his size. But why would us to that? I'd love to see throwback. I don't hear that bullshit. Okay, you can take
Let's go throwback. Let's go.
Look. When please come talk to me. It's simple. You can, I'm gonna slap you right in the face with them 6 rings. I don't care how irrelevant we are. You will always hear that. When you get to 6, come talk to me.
Y'all
It's
didn't
like
come back. You know what the Bulls didn't do? They didn't come back 3-1. They didn't come back.
You know, you have that. That is fantastic that you have it. Here's the problem: you never three-peated, and you never win it. You ain't even went back to back.
We're not gonna either. That's a fact. We are not. We are a tiny market team.
Unfortunate, but
and it is what it is. We're a small market team. But you know what? Small market teams can say that they've done it.
Yeah, I just wish I honestly wish he would, bro. I truthfully do. You know what I'm saying? It would be nice because you would see some credit. You mean to tell me you don't think that LeBron would be able to do something spectacular that we ain't never seen before? Yes, he would. You don't think Ja Morant would be able to do something spectacular in the dunk contest? Yes,
let's not talk about that retard.
You said what?
So let's not talk about him.
I don't know why he won't do the dunk contest.
I don't know
really
why
don't
any
know
of them don't do it. It's that right there is the only reason anybody watches any of the shit in the playoffs. But yeah, I agree with that, man. It's pretty cool, man. Ryan came in hella late.
What's up, Ryan?
We about to get up out of here.
What up, yo? Sorry, I had a show with I thought I was gonna go solo. Platform and something to have with Platform. Then all of a sudden Wolf popped in out of the middle of nowhere. And then Wolf did an hour and a half. Wolf and I did an hour and a half, and then we did another I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes in the back room just talking some crazy stuff.
Oh man.
Damn, Joey went there.
What? Here we go.
Oh shit. You heard about the news, right, Dion?
No, I heard. I don't know, man. I know Ja Morant is being described to be petty. That's all.
He beat up on a teenager, dude.
Okay, yeah, let's end it. I don't even want to talk. Come on, bro. You a grown ass man in the damn NBA and all that money. You got to fuck it off beating up on a child. Get up out of here. No. Stupid.
And I heard
stupidity at its prime.
Yeah.
He flashed a gun, I heard.
Yep.
Oh, I thought he dominated him in a game.
No.
I'm talking about he physically assaulted a young boy.
Yes.
That's
17-year-old.
I don't even want to go into that. You can say that for your Warriors podcast.
Dude, I haven't even done one
about
forever.
12 to 13 strikes or something like that. He struck him like 12, 13 times and then flashed a gun at him or something.
Good job, dumbass.
Right.
You just fucked off your whole life and career.
Yep.
Great. Thanks for making us look bad. And Rod, you know what I'm talking about.
That's not fair. He's a guy who made a bad decision. Why should anybody
I
else
agree with
take
that.
any blame for that? You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
He just made a bad
Yeah.
decision. You can't continue to keep making the decisions that you make. You got to look at the company you keep around you
It's-
too. Like
and-
that's the part that needs to be addressed. And then on top of that, as a father, I think his dad needs to really truly kind of pull him to the side and just be like,
He need to have a talk
really
with him.
need
You
to-
got to
Unless
be
his
like,
dad
hey,
is the one,
son,
unless
you
his dad
chill
beat
the
the
fuck
shit
out.
out of him.
You're a role model on top of it. Like
Yeah.
you can't keep falling back on, I made this bad decision, I made this mistake.
Very true,
Like,
John.
bro, you're very lucky to be in the very, very small percentage of
people
men
that
have
actually
this
make it.
kind of success in the NBA. And it's just not worth throwing it away with continuous bullshit. There's been too many examples before you that have made poor decisions. You just have to be better than that. You can't
It's too many-
beat up people.
It's too many
Yep.
kids. There's too many kids that are on here that say it's not me. It's not gonna happen to me. You know, these kids get into the situations and things and feel like they're untouchable now. And until
Very
it
deep.
happens to them, then it's too late. So, like,
Yeah.
Well, that
Yeah.
17-year-old and his family, they're making a bunch of money.
absolutely.
Oh yeah. But
Anyway, you guys ready to shut it down?
we're gonna shut it down. Ryan, just real quick, let's just anything that pops in your head. Let's hear it real fast about the Niners.
Don't be
Uh-oh.
Wow,
don't
that
be
was fast.
surprised if don't be surprised if McGlinchey is on the team next year.
I got one real quick before we roll. Real quick. You guys, I want everybody to take a crack at it. Try to keep it a minute or less. This came to my mind. I was listening to the radio about the Purdy Trey Lance situation, the quarterback market, the surgery. Do you guys ever put your tinfoil hat on and think to yourselves that the future moving forward with Trey and a free agent quarterback are contingent on the surgery for Brock Purdy? If it's going to be the lesser operation, the brace surgery that's going to take the least amount of time to recover from, or the Tommy John surgery, does that time frame have an effect on what we do moving forward? Trey remaining a 49er or bringing another free agent quarterback in? Do you guys believe that any of it's contingent on his surgery?
Go ahead, Ryan, since you came in
I
last.
totally do.
If you want to.
I think that's exactly.
So
what they're
do you
doing,
believe
and I
that
think
if
that's a
Purdy
mistake.
goes with the... Yeah, I would agree. But do you think that if Purdy's surgery is the brace, which is going to take the least amount of time to recover from, does that put Trey on the trading block for draft day?
I don't know if they'll do that. I'm
No.
sorry, Ryan, but I don't know if they'll do that because they don't know what Brock is going to be able to do, even post surgery.
Well,
if he's going to be the old
I-
Brock or not.
Okay.
You don't know if they're gonna have to go back and clean anything up. That I think that would be the biggest thing, and I don't think you can't deal Trey. I don't think you can in all actuality, but I think you can. And
I mean, I don't want you to deal Trey,
smart in the fan base.
but I was listening to
I
I was listening to a bunch of people just call in, and they were just going on and on and on, and it gets the wheels turning, man. It makes you think, like, what is this franchise capable of doing? What do they believe they have? We know that Trey doesn't have developmental time. He's got to get in there, and he's just got to execute, and it's just a shitty situation.
The unfortunate thing for Trey, in my opinion, is if Brock recovers and starts doing well, and Trey starts to, not really play well, and he goes through those valleys where, every young quarterback goes through. I don't know if Kyle will be be able to hang in with him. I think he'll bring in Brock and kind of dismiss Trey right away, and that's unfortunate for Trey. The minute Trey struggles, like last year, if Trey didn't get hurt and he would have struggled, they would have stayed with him. They would have stayed committed to him, allow him to develop that way. Now knowing what Brock can do, I don't believe that Kyle will wait. He'll probably will not hesitate to put in Brock and pull out Trey, and I think that's going to be devastating for Trey, in my opinion, for his development.
It's devastating for me because I don't want that shit. I believe
Neither do
that
I, yeah.
we were patient with all these other idiots. We were patient with
freaking Garoppolo.
No, I'm talking about we were patient with D Ford. We were patient with what's his face? Plays for
Jason
Chicago
Verrett,
now.
Jalen Hurd.
Yeah, Jalen Hurd. We were patient with everybody, and then suddenly the guy that you traded or all of our future capital for, you're just gonna, it's
I can
just-
tell you,
jeez.
I can tell you that injury doesn't happen, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. I think Trey would have developed perfectly fine last season, and I think Trey Lance would have been our QB1 going into the season, no questions asked.
Well,
I think it
probably
was
because Brock never got an opportunity.
That
Not
too.
not only that, but I think this. We got to go back to last year when we was 3-5, and I feel like when
Yep.
we was at 3-5, when we should have made that switch then, and we didn't take that time to do it. That's when I feel like a whole bunch of stuff came into my head about stuff, because I'm like, wait a minute, why wouldn't you just go on a switch? It wasn't like Jimmy G last year. Throughout the year, like he was just dominating at that time last year. So it was just like, what are we doing here? It's a perfect time to transition on, move on to Trey, give him his reps, let us keep
Yep,
moving,
yep.
and we can keep on going. But we did not take that advantage of that at the opportune time. And now look at the situation that we're in right now.
Yeah. Again, third year in a row.
Yep.
Oh, he's muted. I think Rod was muted.
No, I'm good, am I?
Oh, you're good?
No,
Okay.
no,
you
he's
kind of
good.
went.
But hopefully the whole situation, if Trey wouldn't got hurt, obviously he did, and where we are where we're at, and it sucks for Trey, man, because I think Trey does have the potential to be a great quarterback, and unfortunately may not get his opportunity. One of my worst nightmares is seeing Trey on another team becoming that quarterback that we think he can be.
Yep.
Same.
And that's the kind of luck San Francisco 49ers and 49er fans have, mother effer. You can bet your ass that if he leaves, we're going to be looking, we're going to be peeking through the blinds, crying ourselves to sleep every fucking night.
Here's
I
what
assure you that, because that's the kind of luck I have.
When he figures out how to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah, but I don't. Ryan, that whole thing about I see 187. You're talking about he hurt his finger. I heard this. Trey hurt his finger thing. I've heard that on multiple channels. I heard it a lot. And they have those turtle shell helmets specifically designed so that quarterbacks don't break their fingers, break their hand, bump their wrist. It happens to every quarterback. They've all stowed their finger on a helmet.
Yep.
So they wear those goofy looking things to protect quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I just,
So
he's not injury prone. He's not injury prone.
I don't think he is. I was just making a joke because our GM seems to think that Trey needs to figure out some way to not have 300-pound linemen fall on his ankles and not have defensive linemen rushing his face as he's throwing a ball.
So,
Ryan, he just sold him out. He threw him under the bus because he ran the RPO. They're blaming him for the way that he ran the RPO. They threw Trey under the bus. That was John Lynch. I smacked your lips off your face, John, for saying that because it was ignorant. It was just downright. You just threw Trey under the bus because you guys indirectly on television blamed Trey for the way he executed that play. That pissed me off.
So that's where I'm coming in with this. Kyle Shanahan needs to call better plays for Trey Lance and not run him through the damn middle like he did last year, and that's how that.
Look, he had the opportunity to make the decision on that, so he chose to run it. So he made a mistake, and it cost him the season and a broken ankle. That's Trey's mistake to grow from. You don't go and make a spectacle of it on national television. You just don't sell the kid out like that. That's the bullshit that I'm talking about. Like, it's just wrong. Trey knows what he did. He probably thought this through a million times. You know what he could have done differently.
And you know, when people say that you don't lose your job to injury, that's bull crap. Because ask Alex Smith how that went.
Yep.
Kaepernick.
Yep.
I just need before we end it, I just need Kyle to make the playbook more open for Trey, like he did with Brock Purdy this past season. Because I did not see that in the first 2 games with Trey Lance.
But wasn't that the ability for Kyle to open up the playbook for Brock was that Brock gave him the confidence to do so. I'm not going against Trey here, but I believe that what Brock showed Kyle on the field and the way he reacted to the defense, the way he was able to read the defenses, throw the ball accurately. I think as games went on, Kyle felt more comfortable giving more responsibility to Brock. I don't think he's there yet with Trey. I think Trey hasn't shown him enough to get Kyle's trust.
But Kyle wasn't even letting.
And it sucks.
You're saying the playbook opens based off of your production.
Exactly.
It can only open as much as you're willing to give it. But we fucking failed miserably at developing Trey, so we didn't ever give him the opportunity to get as far. Brock Purdy played in a Power 5 conference, so naturally some of these throws came a lot more natural. And not for nothing, he had all the support from the clique and the influence in the locker room from camp. They all couldn't stop yammering about how much of a baller he was. He just carried himself, and he's big cock Brock, and all this bullshit. You know, Trey just got a raw deal, right out the gate. Just right out the gate, because
it's not that they didn't open up the book.
It's just
they were trying to make a be Lamar Jackson, and they weren't even giving him the Jimmy playbook.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's the thing. I don't care about really opening it all up, this and that. I want the Jimmy playbook with a couple of you actually hit the clear out route every now and then. That's what I'm looking for. Just bare minimum.
What was Trey Lance one of his weaknesses, Ryan?
Coming into camp, his throws over the middle.
Over the middle and his accuracy, right? And therefore, if you want to move the ball down the field and you want to go with the strength of Trey, and at that point was his run ability more than his throwing, because they were working on that accuracy, in my opinion. And he wasn't running very well on the outside, as people seem to believe. Yeah, exactly. So they were running him in the inside. Not saying that he got hurt intentionally, but what is Kyle going to do? I'm not defending Kyle. I'm just saying he ran him in the inside because he wasn't being decisive on the outside, and his accuracy wasn't there.
Kyle also didn't roll him out into any bootlegs, which is he's great when he's moving on his feet.
Which you saw that in the Houston game in 2021.
There's so many.
Peyton Manning was an inaccurate thrower. Josh Allen was an inaccurate thrower. We can go back and forth for days on this. The fact of the matter is, a lot of the guys that struggled with accuracy, struggled with the intermediate stuff, they just got reps over and over and over.
And that's the key, John. They got look at what's in Buffalo. He was coming out of Wyoming. He was very inaccurate. Josh Allen, and he developed that. But to the key that you said, reps matter. And unfortunately for Trey, not playing as much as he has, and then getting hurt in the second game of his start, it's unfortunate.
Beto, I think it's just the place setting for Trey Lance was never right. The circumstances never presented themselves the way they should have for Trey Lance to develop here. Frankly, we just overstayed our welcome with Jim. We just overstayed our welcome, and it hindered the development. And maybe we should maybe in the next coming weeks, we should do a show just on this, because we could really get a lot of insight, and we could really knock it out, rather than try to scrape it up in the last.
On that note, we're going to keep our audience waiting for next week. And you're right, John. We can definitely carry this conversation next week, and then whatever happens throughout the week, we can add to it. I just, in my behalf, and Brandon I just want to thank Mariah from 49er Faithful Lee for coming and hanging out with us tonight. We got Rod hanging in for us. I appreciate you, man. John V.
No doubt, man.
No Border Sports came
Anytime.
in a little bit late, but you came in. I appreciate you. We look forward to doing this, guys, every week. And the beautiful thing about this is that nobody is obligated on the panel to be available every week. This is why we have so many content creators involved, so that we can give you guys a great show. Now, real quick, we still have to work out the kinks, but we kind of thought of an idea that maybe next week we do a GM where one of us will get picked to be the GM of the 49ers. You do a draft, a quick mock draft, and then the rest of the panel will criticize or compliment on your picks of the draft, just to get something different. And then I also want to do a trivia night where the people in the chat get to ask us, the panel, questions live, and the ones that get the most questions right wins. Even if it's just bragging rights, wins, and just to get the audience involved with us. So they'll say like, John, this is questions for you, and Terradome will ask John a question, and John would have to answer it. If he gets it right, he gets a point. If he doesn't, and then Steve might ask Mariah and so forth. So just to keep things entertaining, because sometimes in the off season, until the draft comes around or the free agency, you kind of beat the old horse talking about the same thing over and over again. So I just want to do have a little bit of fun. So keep that, guys, in mind for those that are watching us in the chat. Those are the things that are about to come in the next couple of weeks. Anything you guys want to say in the closing? We'll start with Mariah. We'll go with Rod, John, Ryan, and then Brandon can kick us out.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me again, chat. We appreciate you guys being here. As always, we couldn't do this without you guys. So,
you have any shows going on this week or next week?
My next show will be Saturday with Bashar at 2 Pacific time.
And her channel is in the description below. All you got to do is click on it and go directly to her channel. Rod, are you done, Mariah? I'm sorry.
Yep.
Okay, Rod, anything you got going on your guys' channel?
Man, we just got shows coming up next week, Tuesday. Tune in, basketball, all things NBA, Warriors, Lakers, whoever your team is. Just come in there, talk your stuff. You know how we do it. Just, hey, be yourself. That's it.
And his
Gina
channel,
repping the Bay broadcast, productions.
Awesome. And his channel and Gina's channel are also in the description below. Click on their channel, go and subscribe, support them. John, anything going on your channel?
Oh, me and the fellas lost a bet to some Kansas City fans, and we have to eat some godforsaken, the hottest hot sauce on planet Earth, and that's going to happen Tuesday, I believe.
Ooh, interesting.
And I mean, we're just going to chop up the rest of this. We're just going to wrap up final thoughts for the off season. Naturally, we do a show with a Bills fan and a Browns fan, and myself, a Niners fan. We chop up everything NFL, NBA, and whatever else you want to talk about in between. So I appreciate you guys for having me. Mariah, all the love to you, sis. B-Dubs, I appreciate you, Beto. Thank you so much. Ryan, it's always a pleasure. Rod, always a pleasure to rock out with you on screen, my man.
And John V's channel is also on the description below. I made it really easy and accessible for you guys. Just click on the link, go to his channel, support him, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and make sure to hit the notification bell so that you will be notified when everyone goes live on their respective channels. Ryan, what you got?
I just want same thing. Go in the description. Make sure you go through everybody's channel, click subscribe. Everybody that's in that description is worth subscribing to. They're going to give you great content.
Absolutely.
Shout out. Thanks for having me.
A pleasure, brother. Pleasure. All right, Brandon, what you got in your channel, personal channel, and send us off.
So if you haven't yet already, subscribe to Forever Faithful Podcast. We're also live on this show on my channel as well right now. So hit that like for this video. For free agency is coming up, so we might be having a show soon for that. But yeah, if you guys haven't yet already, please go over to the 49ers Podcast Network and hit that like, subscribe button. I'm trying to grow this channel as well. And make sure to follow us on well, we don't have a Twitter page yet, but we will eventually.
Yes.
Make sure you follow us at well, we'll get that back to you.
Right.
and
Well, you can follow
Instagram.
me at For a Fitful Podcast, FF Pod 49. You know, we're trying to hit 1,000 followers on Twitter, so we're almost there. So please hit that follow button. But yeah, I think other than that, let's go ahead and end it. Until next time, guys, go Niners. Peace.
Go Niners. Peace.